This episode of Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks is brought to you by Tweaked Audio. To get awesome headphones, go to tweakedaudio.com and use the coupon code Southgate to get 30% off, free shipping, and a lifetime warranty. Or you can get there through the link on our website, southgatemediagroup.com.
This is Phil Perich, and you are listening to the Capes and Lunatics Sidekicks Podcast.
We're Luca approved. Take that, Webby Awards.
I want an interview, but also, you know who we need for an intro? Frankie Bendis! I actually like this Daredevil.
Yeah, street level hero.
Exactly.
Complicated background and past. Great character dynamics. It was all there for him.
So it must be the double, the Daredevil podcast. I am Phil. Joining me, as always, she who
Hell's Kitchen's number one angel, Lilith Hellfire. Yes, that's me.
Angel.
You know, the devil was an angel. Just saying.
True. She who is without fear, who strikes fear into the hearts of men. Lilith Hellfire.
Darn tootin'.
All right, so
I'm super pumped to discuss this epic, iconic story arc.
Oh yes, Daredevil Yellow by Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale.
Every single cover. Well, that partnership seems so familiar.
Oh yeah,
Something that we discussed in a DC podcast once.
Oh yes, they've done Batman: The Long Halloween, Batman: Dark Victory, Superman for All Seasons.
So it was very nice to have them come over on the Marvel side, and this is just really iconic, honestly.
Oh, they did.
The covers. All you need is the covers. You know.
Yeah, they did a few for Marvel too, like Spider-Man Blue. Was it Hulk Gray, Captain America White? But yeah, I think
Hulk Gray is good, but this one is like this is just their chef's kiss.
I think this is their best Marvel one.
Masterpiece. Yes.
This is the best Marvel one, Daredevil Yellow. But yeah, this isn't on Marvel Unlimited, but I have the hardcover.
Ooh, fancy!
Very nice book. Yes, it's got the issues, got some behind the scenes stuff in the back.
Hey-o.
Anyway, so should we get into this?
Yeah, it's 6 issues, so
yeah. Well, a lot of the synopses aren't too big, so. But yes, Daredevil Yellow #1, published the cover date August 2001.
It's like they knew a movie was afoot somewhere.
The championship season. Synopsis. Okay. At the suggestion of Foggy Nelson, Matt writes a letter to the deceased Karen Page in an attempt to make him feel better. In the letter, Matt recounts the tale of his father's comeback to his death and how that experience led Matt to putting on the Daredevil suit. Okay, there's a synopsis for episode 1.
I love this artwork.
Oh yeah,
it's very disarming for like the story that we're telling. It's very disarming. It's very cutesy, full of like moxie, words like that.
So I just wonder if Jeff Loeb, the whole letter.
He loves a gangster story. That is the summation. Jeff Loeb loves a gangster story.
Oh yeah, don't we all? Yeah, I mean, look at Long Halloween, but I mean, just the whole letter writing thing too. I wonder if that's something he learned in therapy or something, because I mean, the Spider-Man one kind of has that same theme, like Peter's writing a letter to Gwen. Or no, I think he's recording it on a tape recorder, but it's it's the same thing.
Doogie Howser effect.
No, I think it's because I think Loeb. I think his son died. I believe.
Oh.
So I remember hearing an interview. I think that newest Nova, Sam Alexander, Loeb created him. I think he said he named him after his son, Sam. Yeah.
Well, way to get dark.
Well, sorry. Well, I mean, look at all the good stuff that came out of it. I mean.
Yeah, right through your pain.
Exactly. But even just that first page, I mean,
So that father-son stuff must have really hit different for him.
oh yeah. But even that first page looks like a cover. I mean, you almost even do a poster out of that.
Honestly, a lot of the pages in this book could just be posters, could be covers.
I mean, seriously, Marvel, if you haven't, I mean, you should take the 6 covers and make them a poster.
It's just this like, I don't know, it's light on words, but not in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? It's just really letting the art tell its story, setting the mood. It's just an emotion. You know how yellow is like a visceral kind of color?
Yeah.
I think that's kind of, you know, the vibe he was going for. Everything should just be kind of muted, subdued, and just let the artwork kind of... Because art is subjective and it can mean different things for everybody. I think was maybe the point of not having so many words, you know? Just the words were just basically the framing device, and the art did the rest of the work, just to be honest, for this issue specifically.
I mean, some of the pages had some wording.
Yeah, it was minimal. Like I said, it's the framing device. It's fine, but that artwork really, especially for issue 1, it did all the work.
I mean, yeah, and like it's like the dialogue between the characters isn't that much, but I mean, so much of this is in Matt's head.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
where he always is, to be fair.
Because not only is Matt writing a letter to Karen, but also, you know, he's thinking about how they're tearing down, you know, the gym where his dad trained and stuff.
Yeah.
But I kind of like this because it's like, you know, since his dad's fights were getting fixed, now all of a sudden he's like famous.
Kid Murdoch.
They want me to fight Creel.
Don't do it.
I hear he's a real cement head.
Get out. Get out, Philip.
But I do like too here, like in the restaurant where like his dad is trying to open the ketchup bottle when he like accidentally hits that girl with the ketchup.
Mm-hmm.
And they show like him being all smooth. He's like, "Oh, hey ladies, can I buy you, I'm so sorry, can I buy you dinner?" Like showing like his dad like the ladies' man, because later on Matt kind of chases anything in a skirt. So
so some people were having a debate about like, Creel being like a retcon or not. I don't think so, as far as I know, right?
I can't remember. It's been a while since I read the first issue.
And I was just like, absorbing man, really? Get it? Because he's a...
Like, I know I think his name was even in the movie and stuff. I can't remember. But again, it was Stan Lee. So it's like, he always like, reused names and stuff. And
exactly. So we'll allow it. I'll say it wasn't a retcon. I'll allow it, and you can at me about it if you want to.
Yeah, maybe we'll do our homework. I'll look at the first issue. But it's like, yeah, even if he did, I mean, I'm pretty sure Stan didn't mean it to be, the absorbing it. It's just like
he had a lot to outline. Okay, leave the man alone.
I mean, think about it. And when did Daredevil 1 come out? 64. I mean, think how many books he was writing. He created
exactly.
He came out with Daredevil. Spider-Man was already in full swing. Fantastic Four.
Full swing. Flip.
Check out the Ultimate Spider-Cast.
Soon to be doing a crossover, kind of, sort of.
Oh yes, check out Daredevil's appearance. Yeah, it's in February on the Ultimate Spider-Cast. We'll have to mention.
But yeah, I'm absolutely in love with this artwork. It really just sells it.
Oh yeah.
It's muted when it needs to be, and then boom, punches you in the face with like the colors and the shading and everything when it's making a point.
Punching you in the face. So you're saying that because of the boxing match?
Well, I'm just saying, yeah, the boxing match, it could definitely be, but like, that's how I feel like going through this book every single time I don't know. This is one of those stories where like my opinion never changes. It's just that good.
Oh yeah.
It makes you feel every single time.
I mean, again, yeah, like the art just makes you feel like it, like it's like an old classic story. That's why I knew like around.
But it's it's old now because it's 2021. But
I know, but
2001 to do that kind of artwork and you're retelling the story. It's like everything was very deliberate, and I appreciate that.
I mean, I knew what the era this book came out, but still, it's it seems so weird to me when I read 2001. I'm like, oh, really? I mean, it seems older.
No, but we're old. that's it too. We're old now. 2001 was a long time ago.
I know, but it just always strikes me as like, oh, I thought, on a certain level, you feel like it should have been older.
Like that. Yeah, definitely. And the artwork definitely gives you the old timey vibe.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
and I like Long Halloween, so this very much has that Long Halloween feel. Probably because we're dealing with gangsters and, the underbelly of a city, things like that. And the kid trying to rise above it and make something of himself for the honor of his parent. The whole thing.
Exactly.
It's a vibe.
And again, this art doesn't feel out of place. Like if you hold it like next to, I mean, the art styles are different, but it doesn't seem out of place if you like hold it up to Daredevil #1.
Yeah. And I think, like I said, there's definitely a deliberate vibe that they were going for. So.
Oh, yeah.
And I kind of like that it's not a lot of dialogue, to be honest. Because, I mean, if you're a fan, you don't really need it retold. You just appreciate the retelling that was done in such a masterful way.
Oh, yeah. Especially when his dad gets killed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just, I mean, he's, unlike the movie where he just like wanders up, his dad, he's sitting at home.
I still stand by that movie, even though it's Ben Affleck. I still stand by that. I like that movie.
I mean, there's so much good in that movie. There's just some bad in there. A lot of bad. Colin Farrell.
But he was hot. What are you gonna do? One put butts in seats. That was the thing back in the early aughts,
Yes, we will cover that movie one day.
One day.
Maybe we'll get.
It's PG-13, right? No, that's an R. So.
Is it an R?
I'm pretty sure it's an R. Let me double check.
I was gonna say, are we gonna do that here, or are we gonna do that on your?
Yeah, like if it's let me see. If it's an R, we can do it on the Hard R Patreon podcast.
I was gonna say, either way, we need to get some friends in here to review that.
That doesn't say on Google right now. Hold on, let's see. I want to say it was an R, but it might be PG-13. Let me see. Let me go on IMDb. This is gonna drive me crazy. Yeah, it's PG-13. So.
Okay. Yeah, we'll have to do it on here.
I was gonna say I don't remember anything gratuitous, really.
Yeah, no, I don't.
Not even the violence was very gratuitous, to be honest.
But I was gonna say I didn't think there was a bunch of language. Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Maybe I was gonna say
back in good old 2003. Like I said, this book just I was just like, I definitely think the movie was still like being thrown around, and this is why they definitely did this. Modern,
And then we're gonna have to dig and do our homework. So I remember seeing ads in comic books. They were gonna do weren't they gonna do like a game around the movie, and then it never came out?
Like so many Marvel video games at the time, though. Like they had so many plans for a lot of things that because they were going through that thing, But it's a reason why the Daredevil movie came out, and then
yeah,
all the other movies started coming out. Blade and all those things. They were really trying to mix, get some money and inject some cash.
Yeah.
So,
but they had the ad in the comic books and everything. It's just like, anyway. So yeah, I mean, again, yeah, this art works, especially for this, the origin story.
Yeah. Classic. It's a classic. It was an instant classic. Let's just do that and talk about issue 2. I love the titles of these issues, by the way, too.
Yes.
Very thematic, lots of motifs.
All right, so issue 2. Well, it says book 2. September 2001. Oh, jeez.
Yes.
Exactly. Well, I mean, that's the cover date, so it probably came out beforehand. But yeah, one of these issues probably came out. Yeah. The Measure of a Man.
I even like the little credit page too.
Oh yeah.
Very charming.
But yeah, Matt Murdock recounts his first time dressing up as Daredevil and his initial meeting with Karen Page in a letter to the now deceased Karen Page to help deal with his problems in the present.
Oh, dedicated to Stan Lee and Bill Everett Wally Wood.
Yes. But yeah, this one was good too. Just,
This is like, I like that this is more action. Like, because, that's how Daredevil kind of deals with his pain, is that he likes to take it out on other people.
Exactly.
So I like the action in this book. He's ready to get to work. Like he's ready to get to work.
But yeah, he walks into these Daredevil, and I love how they all laugh at him, and then he just that billy club's flying all over the place.
And I like how he's like, I just had to let him believe I was any other blind kid.
But yeah, just beating on the goons looking for the fixer.
I love that splash page. It's so great.
What, the first page?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Daredevil.
Just sucks you right in.
Exactly.
They don't waste any time getting to the action. It's just money, kicks being thrown everywhere.
Oh, I might have to look. See if they did any posters for these.
If not, go to your local Kinko's. Wait, is Kinko still a thing? No, FedEx bought Kinko's. So go to your local FedEx.
You have to. I love, yeah, but he's wearing his father's colors, and he's like, you have to answer for battling Jack Murdoch.
Yikes, kid! Yikes! Like, come on, you're giving it away. I hope you have to Oliver Queen this. Nobody can know your secret.
I know exactly. Although, especially in this era, are they just like, oh, he's a do-gooder,
Yeah, exactly.
Solving this unsolved murder, Yeah.
Who's this bum Slade? And I was like, what?
But I just love, look at Daredevil, man. He picks up a gun and he has it to the guy's like neck. He's like, this is the gun you used.
This ain't your mama's Daredevil.
I don't know what you're talking to. You can't lie to me. I don't know.
Don't pray to him, pray to me. Yeah.
Like, swear to me. But I love how they kind of do like the detective thing, because it's like, when the murder weapon was never found, just pistachio nuts. The killer likes his pistachio nuts.
Yeah. It was thrilling. He's all like, testify.
Testify.
Get it? Because he's going to be a lawyer. Get it? I see you.
I see you now.
And then I like that, I feel like why Daredevil likes to take it out on people is because his dad was a boxer. And like he kind of describes how his dad felt stepping into the ring. And I feel like that's what he feels like every time he puts on that suit and he goes out to fight crime. So I kind of like that parallel that he kind of dives into more.
Oh, yeah.
That was a nice touch for me.
It just running through the traffic and look, and then remember his whole childhood, and then him sliding down the rail to the subway.
You get hepatitis nowadays.
Oh, but they definitely go for the. Oh, jeez. They definitely go for the classic Stan Lee story. Yeah, he trails the fixer down into the subway where he has a heart attack.
Yeah, like that sucks. He has a heart attack. You can't even, you know what I mean? Like, that sucks.
Yeah, but at least the guy's dead and you don't have to kill him with your own hand,
I mean, if somebody killed my parents, I'm just saying, like, I totally get Batman. I'd want, it's fisticuff time, bro. Well, I don't want you dying of a heart attack. I want you to die with my hands.
Well, thank you.
You're welcome. If you need a cleaner drop, let me know.
But yeah, no, the fixer has a heart attack and dies on that subway track, which Matt diverts the train. He could have let the body get run over, but that might have been a little cathartic, but no.
He's all like, you're not going to take a dive, mister. Burn.
Like that. It's the beginning of his career. Maybe he doesn't want a murder rap on his head, though, too.
But wait.
Again, and too, this book is supposed to be like a little lighter, though, too. So it's like, we don't need Matt strangling the guy down in the subway.
I get it. Just saying. If it was rebooted today, He beat the living crap out of this dude to death. He beat him to death. And hang him off the Empire State Building.
Written by Frank Miller.
I get it. Don't joke. Do not joke.
Well, remember that, last, for our first episode, we did the Frank Miller Man Without Fear. Remember, there's no brothel in this edition.
Exactly. I mean, while I like it, I'm just saying Frank Miller today is a very different. His ego has gotten even bigger. So.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't be the Frank Miller who wrote Born Again or anything. No.
Yeah, exactly. Frank Miller's a different person now, for better or for worse.
Oh yeah, I agree 1,000% there.
Honestly, what has Jeff Loeb even doing? I know he has some creator-owned thing I want to say, but I haven't really.
Yeah, I don't know he
hasn't really dealt with the big two in a while, as far as I remember.
He was working on Marvel Television for a while, but yeah, not now. So
was he writing or just producing? Because I don't really consider, no offense, producers. I don't really consider producing a job.
I mean, I don't know if he was doing some writing, but yeah, I think for a while he was producing. So I don't know. Yeah, what's he doing?
But yeah, I outside of the guy just having a heart attack, and he's respecting Stan Lee's vision, so you can get behind that too.
Oh yeah, they're definitely doing the straight up Stan version of this.
Oh, I have to show my favorite page. Give me 1 second.
Okay. But yeah, especially you don't want to be strangling the guy because the cops come down and
he's got gloves on. He'd be all right.
I know. But yeah, it tells me here's the guy who murdered Battling Jack, and if you'll follow me over to the gym, you'll find the second man, Slade, who pulled the trigger. And I'm willing to bet the murder weapon. Who are you supposed to be?
Your mama.
Oh. But again, it's the nickname he got in childhood again with another splash page, Daredevil.
Exactly. That's the one. That's the picture.
They had some. Oh yeah, that needs to be a poster definitely. But I'm trying to remember. I think it was in issues in the 90s. They used to do little comical 3-panel strips and stuff. And it was the Daredevil one. It's and I shall fight crime under the name that the childhood bullies gave me. And he's they show him swinging over the city. He's look out, crime! Here comes. It's look out, crime! Here comes what is it, stink face or something? Or...
Yeah. Hold on, here it is. Share screen. I don't know which one it is. I think it's this one.
I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's see what Lilith Hellfire brought us. Oh yeah, definitely. Dog.
As you do. Come on. Yeah, I love this one.
Yeah, that one definitely needs to be a poster or on something. Yeah.
Thought it was gonna be bigger, but you're welcome.
The life of a single woman. Hello, Hellfire.
Lies, all lies. Guy tells you he's 6'3", it means he's 5'8".
So no matter what size he tells you, he's always shorter. Hello.
No. I blame the American education system not teaching people how to properly measure. We should have really converted to metric. That's all that I'll say about it. It's 10. It's easy.
It all depends where you start measuring, Lilith Hellfire.
You know what? That's between you and your junk, literally. And then we get back to Foggy, and it's old timey, Depression era almost.
I know The Office, man. I mean, but again, it's New York, so.
Yeah, I mean they couldn't afford much.
Oh yeah, not just starting out, but yeah, them.
Even when they get quote unquote a little more successful, they can't afford much.
Exactly, just but Foggy's
He's the real workhorse of the pair, He's been carrying Matt for forever,
Oh yeah, definitely. I mean,
which is why I wanted Matt Damon to be Foggy in the movie, and I was so disappointed they didn't do that.
Oh yeah.
I like the shade of it all.
Yeah, bro. Well, I mean, they used to play Foggy as like a joke, but now they're actually like, oh yeah, he's the brain.
I do like the evolution of Foggy. Foggy's like one of my favorite side characters in just all of Marvel, and he just doesn't get enough credit. And I ship them, so you know.
Ew.
It's more likely to happen than Stucky, so you know, just.
But yeah, Foggy just hot, like interviewing secretaries until someone walks in.
Looking all sharp.
Then we see Foggy talking to someone, and it's like, oh, think something you should know about Mr. Murdoch. Look who I hired. Miss Karen Page. A young, innocent Karen Page.
Look at those pearls.
Oh, my God.
Clutches them even.
Not the last pearl necklace that Karen Page would receive.
Oh, burn.
Had to go.
Stepping on my Karen Page stick. Get out of here, Phil. Save it for the Patreon. Honestly, I would have been more interested. I think if they hadn't wanted to do the Elektra spinoff, I would have definitely loved to see Karen Page in the original Daredevil movie. I think that would have been more of a better love story to tell, honestly. But they wanted Elektra, so they got Elektra.
That was the other problem. I mean, they wanted to rush that Elektra thing so they could spin it off. I mean, Elektra and her whole story should have been this like a second movie if they had ever gotten there.
Yeah. You know, they were this close, but they decided to do Elektra instead of Daredevil too. So they wanted that female money.
But the first movie should have been, you know, focusing on Matt and Foggy.
But let's be honest, at the time, Jen Garner was actually a little bit bigger than Ben Affleck.
True.
She had just come off an Alias, and I'm so glad to see her, by the way. She went back to her action route. She has that movie on Netflix. So she had Alias and a couple of other movies under her belt where she was like, you know, this action star, and I get why they wanted to do it. She had a good audience. It made sense, but it was disappointing.
I know.
It came at the cost of Daredevil too, but it's because they chose Colin Farrell to be Bullseye. Had they picked the guy that was actually the cop to be Bullseye, I think it would have worked better. Just saying.
Maybe. Just anything.
Just thoughts.
Exactly.
I cannot wait to talk about the Daredevil movie because I actually like it, and I think so many people poop on it. And it's usually the other way around. I usually hate everything, and everybody else is like, "No, it's pretty good."
I might have to look at the schedule. We might have to pencil that in somewhere.
It's the 20th anniversary. Whenever date it came out, like let's try to pencil it for that month and go 20th anniversary. Well, in 2 years actually. So we want to do it this year because it came out in 2003. So we can wait a while for its 20th anniversary.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, we can wait for the 20th anniversary.
But Daredevil's been in the Spider-Man cartoon, right? The newer ones. I could have sworn I saw that.
I think so. I mean, so
if you want to talk about something other than like just comic book Daredevil,
he was in that 90s Fantastic Four cartoon.
Yeah, don't make fun of that. I actually like that one.
Yeah, that wasn't bad. No. And
it got the short end of the stick out of the like Fox animated lineup.
The short end of the stick. Okay, Daredevil joke.
Billy Club.
I mean, he's in that 90s Spider-Man too.
Did he? Must have been the last season, I think.
I think it was
that last season was full of like cameos, and you could smell the cancellation on the wall. Get it? Wall crawler. Anyway, issue 2, I like a lot. I like how they end issue 2 with the Karen Page, and it's just like, if you know, you know, but if you don't know, then. But he's been writing the letter to her, dude. So obviously you should get it.
Exactly.
I think issue 3 is my favorite cover.
Oh, with them shaking hands.
Yeah, and it's got Nelson and Murdoch, attorneys at law, and it's just like, it feels so hopeful and bright and cheery, even though book 3 has an ominous title of Stepping into the Ring. I just like the cover and the contrast of what that title implies.
All right, so yeah, issue 3, Stepping into the Ring, cover dates. I scrolled past it. October 2001. All right, this one's got a little more synopsis here. All right. Matt continued writing his letter to the deceased Karen Page about his and their humble beginnings. He initially retells their meeting with their first clients at Nelson and Murdoch, the Fantastic Four, and how they wanted the legal team to look over their lease at the Baxter building along with some patents.
This was hilarious because, Ben's going to be Ben.
Which one of you shysters is Nelson and which one is Murdoch?
Oh, look at this, the way Invisible Woman is drawn. I absolutely love it.
Oh, yeah.
Despite not having a boob window, I absolutely love it.
Oh, this is 60s Invisible Woman, not...
Exactly.
Hubba hubba.
Oh, look at that Fantastic Four sperm mobile.
Oh!
Could have done a better design there, Reed Richards.
Hey, they liked what they liked.
No kink shaming. It's fine.
He wanted subliminally, he wanted Sue to be thinking the same thing day in, day out. Come on.
Nice.
But yeah, that is good. Let's see. So after that, Matt writes of their celebration drinks at the Marlin Cafe, where he easily beats 3 college kids at billiards, only for them to try and ambush him when they leave the cafe.
Yeah, never bruise dude bros' egos. They will meet you in the alley.
Or Washington.
Ooh.
The thugs' plan didn't go accordingly, and Matt beat them with precision. Oh, he beats them with precision before visiting Slade, where he was being held while on death row. Matt wanted answers for who the Fixer worked for, and even though Slade was sentenced to die, he didn't want to give up any name for fear they'd go after his family. The following day, Matt returns to the offices of Nelson and Murdoch, where Karen and Foggy are speaking with a woman named Grace, who tells the lawyers that she used to do some...
Say goodnight, Gracie. Sorry.
She used to do some bad things for her husband, who she believed to be a good man. Grace then explains that someone found out about the things she had done and was out to expose her. When asked who the blackmailer is, Grace is spooked and leaves the offices in a hurried manner. Not soon after, a man enters the office asking about a woman who he knows came to see the pair and that she was no doubt sullying his good name. When asked his name, he simply says to refer to him as the Owl.
Boo.
Yeah, because that's not suspicious. Just call me the Owl. Oh Lord, but yes, it's but again, everyone, Daredevil visits Slade in prison to try to find out who the Fixer worked for. This is later contradicted in the flashback in Daredevil Volume 260, number 66, where Daredevil is already aware that the Fixer was working for Alexander Bont.
Oh, this is a great picture right here too. Like this artwork of Reed Richards.
Oh. Wait. Oh yeah.
Great shadow work, very soft. Look at the hand on the shoulder. I just like it. It's nice.
Yeah. I don't think this team ever did a Fantastic Four, did they? They should have did a Fantastic Four.
Hey, we could petition like, hey, bring Jeff Lowe back and make it the Fantastic Four.
They're like, we don't have any colors left. Well, we already did blue. Fantastic Four orange.
Ooh.
Focus on Ben.
Honestly, I feel like in the movies, not so much the comic books, but in the movies, he definitely got the short end of the stick.
Oh yeah. So. I mean, he was. But
they did kind of that Marvel. Didn't they do something with him with Marvel 2-in-1?
Oh yeah, I mean, more back in the day, Marvel he had his own team up book like Spider-Man did. It ran for like 100 issues, yeah, and then he had his own solo book, yeah.
Yeah, I remember that solo book.
Yeah, the thing was popular, especially with the children of New Jersey.
We're doing me now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, let's get Loeb on that. Let's start a petition.
Exactly, you know Charlie S would be behind that. But yeah, I just love like the Daredevil scenes, you know, him suiting up and then just him flying around the city.
Yeah.
But especially with him thinking about Karen, with you in my mind, I thought I could fly.
Well, you know, you can tumble through the sky, but you can't quite flip. your way downtown. You can only tap your way downtown.
Oh, uh,
Tapping my way downtown. Look at those abs, though. They definitely did some definition. I mean, it was subtle. It wasn't gratuitous when they had him take his shirt off on the fire escape. I was just like, oh, that's such a tiny panel. I guess they don't know that women read comics yet.
Lilith was like, give that a splash page. Yeah, but I just love his thoughts. He's like, yeah, you know, I just laugh when I think that people might mention my name in the same sentence as Thor, Iron Man.
No, honey, no.
Whoa.
Oh, you had big hopes and big dreams.
Oh, yeah.
Although Thor is not really much outside of the MCU these days either, so.
Yeah. Well, this was the 60s. No one knew who Iron Man was.
Exactly.
But yeah, that pool scene with the hustler, you know.
Tony Stark's bodyguard.
That's right. But yeah, just him beating those punks in that alley was pretty cool.
I do like the interaction with Karen when he's putting her in the cab.
Mm-hmm.
Look at that sweet innocent face. What happened to you, Karen? What happened?
Like the Frank Miller, man. It was Frank Miller, yeah, because I mean, when they wrote her out of the book, yeah, she was like, "Oh, I'm going to go to Hollywood to be an actress," and then Frank Miller, of course, brought her back. Oh, she's a porn star and a drug addict, and taking out his issues with women on her.
As a lot of male comic book writers do, see the woman in a refrigerator trope.
Yes.
Which we'll get to, actually.
Or just turns him into eye candy, John Byrne.
I don't know. Mary Jane did have some depth in some issues.
Well, that's like you're always down on Karen. Like, that's what I'd say. Like, depending who's writing her, I mean, she can be a good character.
This is the best I've ever seen her. This is the most relatable she's ever been and ever will be up till 2021. Today, this day, this is the most relatable she's ever been.
I know, but there was like some of the issues like right before. I mean, it was like the late 90s, like up until like her death. Like she was like she was working as a radio DJ. I mean, there was some stuff there.
I loved Karen Page in the Daredevil show. Like I loved everybody except for Charlie Cox. So it's weird. It was weird. I was like, I don't like the main character. I didn't like the main character in Arrow either. So
like we say, every couple of years they kind of like try to tear Daredevil down, and I think Karen got taken down one too many times by that trope.
Yeah, that might be what it is.
But yeah, again, the art is great. Him taking down those thugs in the alley.
Issue 3 is my favorite issue of the 6. They're all great, but it's just something about this issue I really enjoy. It's got like a fun, but like it balances the fun and the serious. You know what I mean? His personal and his vigilante side. Like this is like the perfect balance. And I think people either lean one way or the other too much. They never give us that balance.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he never really feel. And I guess that's the struggle of Daredevil. He never really feels like a complete person because something's always going wrong one way or the other. Exactly.
But I love this series. I mean, I would have loved if we would have got more like year one Daredevil year one out of this team.
Somebody get Jeff Loeb on the gosh darn phone.
Exactly. Clean up some.
I don't know if he even is willing to work with the big two anymore. Maybe that's why. I don't know. A couple people have kind of just turned their backs on the big two and decided to do their own thing and go their own way.
I was reading somewhere.
But if he's not opposed to it, we should start a petition. Tweet him and then start a petition. That's what we'll do.
There we go. Maybe we'll tweet him. But yeah, just comics. All right. So Daredevil Yellow number 4, November 2001. Never lead with your left.
Especially if you're a southpaw.
Exactly. Well, I think didn't he say that in issue when his dad was a southpaw? So
yeah.
All right.
Best boxers, to be honest, though.
Yeah.
As a lefty.
You know what they say about those lefties?
Better keep your eye on them.
Bad. All right. So Matt continues his letters to the late Karen Page about his early career. He details his fight versus, that's right, kids, Electro.
Oh, that's another thing about the covers. All you need to do is look at the covers. It actually tells a pretty cohesive story.
Oh,
I like that too.
In which he describes liking the thrill of being a hero, and that was the driving force behind confronting him, as opposed to his confrontation between Slade and the Fixer, which was out of duty to his father and for justice. Matt then describes an instance where Karen was intrigued with the new hero at the time, going by
As
Daredevil.
they always do.
Must be the tights, which shortly led to him, Karen, and Foggy going bowling. During this outing was the first time Karen and Matt got close, and how he remembers vividly when Karen embraced him with a hug and having their hearts beat in tandem. Look at that poetry.
Wish my boyfriend had those muscles.
Oh my!
Are you married, Mr. Daredevil? This issue is actually the funniest issue, I think, for me.
I know. Not soon after that,
Number one's like the most serious. Number 4 is like the funniest. They definitely had like a little bit of a theme for each issue, like what they wanted to do.
I love when he takes down Electro and he's just like, sitting there like sweet talking the Rockettes.
Yes.
Not soon after that, Matt witnesses the execution of Slade. For the murder of his father. He could still smell the burning flesh through the glass. Even with think about it, hypersenses,
Yeah, exactly. That's the downfall of hypersenses.
That's the other thing. You wanted him to murder the Fixer and stuff, but it's like, he
got justice.
You're gonna hear if you do it with your own hand, you're gonna hear every gurgle, and you're gonna literally hear that heart stop beating. Even with his
and poor fragile Matt, you're right. Matt's fragile. He can't deal with that.
Yeah.
Look what happened with Typhoid Mary.
Seriously, even with his murder avenged, Matt couldn't help but keep his father's apartment, even though he often changed furniture, but he always kept his father's chair.
Dad's recliner. That's a trope.
Well, yeah, again with his hypersenses too. Then does he say like, "Oh yeah, it still smells like him" and stuff? Upon going to work the next day, Matt found out that Foggy intended to ask Karen to marry him.
Would have been the worst mistake of your life, homie, but okay.
Sexual.
Yeah, just asking for it.
There's no HR.
I am HR.
Seriously. This was the first time he even thought about Foggy being interested in her, and in hindsight, should have been something he shouldn't have been so blind to.
That one sent my soul to heaven, let me tell you.
I was blinded so many ways.
Blinded by the light.
But yeah,
that for Boogie Nights. It's fine.
But yeah, this issue, we're blinded by something. But yeah, this issue was great. Again, great art. I love the Electro. Just taking down Electro. I take it down Spider-Man, kid. What do you think you're gonna do? Say
exactly.
And just him, like I said, him and the Rockettes, man.
That is like I said, it was very funny.
I'm all asking, do you have a girlfriend? Are you married?
Wish my boyfriend had muscles like that. Is this it? Yeah, this is it.
But yeah, the whole bowling thing was so cute, especially the hug. But no, just the art, because just look at the coloring and like the shading and stuff during the execution. It's all it's all dark and lots of black and
this warms my heart. This is the best Karen ever was.
All right, let's see. Oh, that's what I was saying. Oh yeah, the hug thing. Yeah, I love that. Oh,
the best.
Aww. That's what I'm saying. Written good.
Yeah, like I said, the best Karen's ever been, and ever will be, as far as we know.
She was a good Karen.
Hard to find those these days. Am I right?
So yeah, the execution, Matt and his dad's apartment. Yeah, that last page, man. They really zoom in on that wedding ring or that engagement.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna ask Karen to marry me. Sure, Foggy.
Not so fast, mister. Superhero's life's never as easy. Never that easy. Just ask Spider-Man.
It's a hard knock life.
He is a redhead and an orphan.
Seriously. That's the musical we need. All right, ready for issue 5?
Against the ropes. Let's do it.
Daredevil Yellow, book 5. Yes, Against the Ropes, from December 2001. All right, so Matt continues his letter to the departed Karen Page, we know, in a story describing the time when the Owl kidnapped her. Matt was still very new to being a superhero and hadn't yet honed in his senses.
Oh, but this is getting more to the classic Daredevil that we know, overlooking the dark night sky, being that gargoyle figure in the night, that whole thing.
Matt was still very new to being a superhero and hadn't yet honed it in his senses. When Karen was in danger, this was one of the first times he did just that, focusing on the city and shifting through the hustle and bustle of every night New York City to search for Karen. In a matter of time, he was able to pinpoint Karen's voice and find where the Owl had been keeping her. Turns out Grace, a woman who had previously visited Nelson and Murdoch, was being blackmailed by the Owl, but she was also working with him so that he'd leave her alone. The Owl wanted leverage over Matt Murdoch as he saw his disability as an advantage in court to gain juror sympathy and planned on tapping him for future trials if he needed a lawyer.
Ooh, you know he's not a good lawyer, right? You should have done this for Foggy.
I want you on my team. We're all very handy capable. Daredevil easily freed Karen, but while focusing on her, the Owl returned and the two battled. Karen remained hidden even though she was told to flee, showing a side of her that Matt often felt got her into trouble, but something he also admired. Eventually, the Owl fled his hideout, and Daredevil followed, not wanting to let the villain escape, as he had feared he'd return for Karen. When Daredevil caught up to the Owl, he pounced, but eventually lost him in the squabble when the two fell in the ocean in the midst of the pitch black night. I didn't know ocean, that's the East River.
Exactly.
The next day, Karen unknowingly told Matt his own story as the costume Daredevil, and the two flippantly flirted with each other. Foggy, who was heading up and had planned to propose to Karen, heard the whole thing and sadly retreated, unbeknownst to Matt and Karen. I was gonna say, shouldn't Matt have heard what Foggy coming, but he was kind of busy.
He did. He was
busy.
Matt's not a good friend. Also,
Yeah.
just a thing. He is like the worst. But Foggy's an enabler as well, so it's like a whole dynamic. It's a whole dynamic.
I mean, he wasn't kind of protecting Foggy too? Because I mean, how long had they known Karen? I mean, had Foggy even gone out on a date with Karen? And he's already ready to propose to her.
I mean, you see what Foggy looks like, right?
Yeah.
So I get it. I get the storytelling trope that they're doing.
And again, he's her boss. He's one of her bosses. That's kind of creepy too.
Not in the 60s.
True.
I mean, you got to smack girls on the butt in the 60s. So.
And I mean, and again with Matt, I mean, he's also the boss, but it's like, she's kind of showing.
He's not really the boss. His name's just on the sign. Foggy felt bad for him.
And again,
let's just be honest.
And again, at least Karen showing interest, like, oh yeah, I'd be interested.
She gives him the old failed right hook.
But yeah, I mean, the Owl.
Yeah, and we never saw him again.
I mean, did it take...
The vulture ate him!
I was going to say, I forget, did it take a while for them to give him a name? Because he's like, oh, just call me the Owl. I mean, he eventually had a name. In pure Marvel.
And the vulture eventually got a backstory 50 years later. It's fine.
True. But I love him just standing on top of the Empire State Building.
Yeah, that's honestly modern day classic Daredevil. So.
Yeah. And again, I know yellow, not typically a superhero suit, but I mean, I wouldn't mind seeing more of this suit again.
I do miss this. Like, I always joke about it because in that issue, like, I'll never forget it. It's just like, I can feel the colors. And that, honestly, had they not said that with the yellow suit, people would not clown the yellow suit as much. Honestly. That's where that whole thing stems from. It's iconic in a bad way.
but then just him bending the bars of her cage. He's like, I don't know if it's just sensing the weak points or the adrenaline, or I was like, the testosterone flowing through your veins.
Poor Foggy, though.
I know.
Well, that was the penultimate issue. Only said so I could take a drink.
Take a drink. President Future Loaf, yes. I love that line. How do you know my name? Easy, Karen. I've seen you in my dreams ever since I can remember.
Ooh! Slick! Here it is. Issue 6.
Oh, yes. The final bell. I do like that.
Whom does it toll for is what I want to know. Boom! Literature classic reference.
You and your classic literature this morning, too.
It's the Red Bull, bro. I've
Wings.
given in to the temptation of caffeine, and it's a terrible thing.
It gives you wings and education. But yes.
Pulls up those old recesses of the brain.
She's high on life, people. All right, so Daredevil Yellow number 6, January 2002, the final bell.
Oh, this artwork is so beautiful on Karen, though. It's like very classic, simple, subdued. Like I said, the pearls really pull the whole look together.
Exactly.
She's reading a newspaper. Remember those things, kids? Probably not. Probably not, but Phil and I do. There was this thing called newspapers, see?
But yes, Matt continues his letter to Karen, noting that this will be the final one. Matt then
countdown.
Matt then recounts when he and Karen were in the offices of Nelson and Murdoch discussing if Daredevil does what he does for some sort of reward. The conversation being brought up after reading a story in the Daily Bugle by Ben Urich. That's a retcon. Who suggested that Daredevil deserved the key to the city after defeating the Matador.
Jonah did not let him publish that, especially with his hard-on for Spider-Man. No way.
Whoa. Yes, the Matador. Such a well-known villain. We didn't even get him in this series. Foggy, who was already steamed that Karen is falling for Matt, gets a call from Judge Flanders, who appoints the
Flanders. Stupid old Flanders.
Who appoints the law office to defend the Purple Man.
No.
Who probably would have been lost to time if it wasn't for Jessica Jones.
Exactly.
Karen decides to accompany Matt to the courthouse, leaving Foggy even more jealous. I love
how he's like, I never thought of him as young. Now, Spider-Man, he seems young to me. Burn.
I love when like Karen's like asking, do you think Daredevil does this for any kind of reward? Matt should have been like, I don't know, you tell me. Karen.
What has the criminal justice system turned into?
Exactly. The Purple Man the Purple Man dismisses his need for counsel and uses his powers to make the guard free him while he walks off with Karen in tow.
Oh, by the way, it's Foggy, not Mr. Nelson, see? This guy's out here looking like a Joker with purple skin, but that's fine.
Well, after Daredevil confronts the Purple Man on the stairs of the courthouse, Kilgrave has the NYPD shoot at Daredevil while he and Karen head to the plaza to get a room and drinks. Oh, jeez.
Talk about a Cosby special.
I mean, I guess this is always the Purple Man's character, because even Jessica Jones, like, the comic, oh my God.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I think she even says he would make me stand there and just watch him with college co-eds. Oh yeah, the Purple Man's freaky. Predator.
Look how the artwork changes. I love it.
I know. Just when things are about to take a turn for the sexual, Daredevil shows up to save Karen from being forced to do something she wouldn't want to do. Daredevil easily starts to beat the Purple Man, but Kilgrave,
as you do in a hotel room. Nobody told Rob.
Oh,
Smash it. I like how he just starts listing it off though. Dr. Doom, Kingpin, Bullseye, Bullseye. Get it?
But yeah, after he beats the Purple Man, Kilgrave orders Karen to jump from the balcony, and Daredevil's forced to save. So has to leave Kilgrave in order to save her. Daredevil catches her with ease as she went tumbling
This
up.
is a ripoff from Superman though, but I appreciate it.
Who's got me? Using his billy club as a grappling hook. While swinging down to ground level, Karen suggests that Daredevil's suit should be red, not yellow.
Yeah, see?
Given he's a devil after all. He takes it to heart, and Karen asks to see him again. Soon after, Kilgrave exits the building and orders everyone to attack Daredevil. However, it's too late as Daredevil quickly knocks him out and wraps him up for the authorities, just in time for Foggy to come running towards the building for Daredevil to take off. Matt then details that the rest is history and that it's time for him to forgive himself for what happened to Karen and that he'll always remember the times they spent together.
Another blonde getting flipped.
Oh! Oh, and I guess, and they don't mention it, but yeah, I guess they, was that Matt gets the gym refurbished or whatever.
Yeah. I like the sign with the little boxing gloves. It was very cute.
Yes. But yes, the Purple Man.
Very bittersweet.
Exactly.
He still has to deal with Karen, but at least he's kind of sort of dealt with his father finally. So Karen's the next thing we have to deal with. Like I said, he'll write a letter to his dad about Karen. I don't know.
Exactly.
But yeah, this is one of those masterpieces. Everything like fits together. I have no complaints.
Oh yeah, I mean this just makes me yearn for we've done Marvel's coming out with like a X-Men book for different eras, and we've had like a bunch of Batman Year One stuff. We need a book like covering early Daredevil, or like Untold Tales of Daredevil.
Whenever we get that new Daredevil show, I'm sure they'll probably think about it. And I'm assuming there's a new what? Did you hear Charlie Cox it was confirmed that he just wrapped shooting for Spider-Man 3 or whatever?
Yeah, me and Charlie were talking about that on Super Connectivity. I was like, really? I mean, so that was confirmed? Because I was like, you'd think we would have heard something before.
But it's during the pandemic, so it's a lot easier to keep things under wrap too. So, and Marvel's already Disney's already super like protective of their stuff, so it makes sense.
Well, Charlie
it had been rumored, but they just didn't confirm it.
It would suck, but like Charlie was saying, Charlie Cox might have been there, but maybe not as Daredevil, maybe as Matt Murdock.
Oh yeah, that makes sense actually.
Maybe he's Peter's lawyer or something.
That would be fun.
Oh yeah.
Although Foggy better be there because Matt's a terrible lawyer. I mean, I give the kid, he had the moxie to become a lawyer, but that doesn't mean he's a good lawyer. I mean, New York's full of good lawyers. Like in real life, just that's where you go when you want to make the money.
I think I mean, most stories they paint it. It's like Matt is a good mentally, he could be a good lawyer. He just doesn't spend the time on it that he should.
Exactly, because he's got that vigilante obsession, and it's just kind of like, you're a lawyer, you could really do good in the justice system. In real life really does need good lawyers who care. Mm-hmm. So
I mean, back in the day, they wrote him where like he tried to balance the two sides. Now it's just
couldn't. It's not in him.
Yeah, I'm Daredevil, and when I have time, I'll get to that lawyering thing.
Yeah, he is definitely a man with an obsession, for better or for worse. And like I said, I like that they depict his struggles because he is always going through something.
Oh yeah,
and people need to see that. Like, because with Batman, you very rarely see him struggle. He's just this perfect pillar of manhood, beating up senior citizen villains, that whole thing. But like with Daredevil, he's a street level, and you see the consequences, And I think that's just something you definitely need, and I appreciate Daredevil for that. And I think the writers are very, all the writers have been very conscious about that. So.
Yeah, every 5 to 10 years they try to what crap can we put Matt Murdock?
We've already done it. sorry to tell you, you've done it. You're just gonna Simpsons did it, one of those things.
Exactly.
So, but yeah, if you don't have this, I definitely recommend getting it if you can find the individual issues, because the covers are just chef's kiss. Like, just to have that, to feel that old, well, not really old comic print because they were done with that, but it's actually slightly different paper than today in the 2020s. So
yeah,
every couple, like about 10 years, there's like a leap forward in comic book paper. So
and again, it's been collected. Like I said, there's hardback.
That's a nice one. I might have to look for that one.
Yeah,
mine's a soft cover.
Yeah, it's got the slip cover and everything. Yeah. Whew. But yeah, so
I had a time scanning in the soft cover. Let me tell you. Hey.
But yeah, so because it's not on Marvel Unlimited, at least not yet. So yeah.
If it's not on Marvel Unlimited, then I doubt it's on Comixology. But that's just kind of how that works.
Yeah, so you might have to find it in print somewhere, kids. But yeah, if you're a fan of Daredevil, even in any forms of media, if you're only familiar with Daredevil from like the movie and the TV show,
this actually complements the movie so well. Not even gonna lie.
And it's
you just have to step. You just kind of might have to put Elektra in for Karen if you've only seen the movie.
And it's like the origin story. So if you don't even know the comics, it's like, oh hey kids, here's like the first like couple issues of Daredevil retold in this.
And actually, if you're a fan of the Netflix show, I think this complements pretty well too, because Karen was a very good character in that, and she's a very good character in this one.
Exactly.
Only Foggy gets the short end of the stick, really, in this one. And that's because they just didn't know how great Foggy was. I feel like that's why I also like the Daredevil show. They really did show how great a character Foggy could be.
Oh yeah, I mean, this is exactly how they wrote him back then. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, A+ for me, no complaints or change.
Definitely the story, the art. I mean, you know,
they're such a great team. Like they really do need, if they're able to, or if they want to, they really should come back and do some stuff. Because Daredevil right now is in a really good place, but could always be better.
Oh yeah, especially once he hits the MCU, yeah, they're gonna be looking for all kinds of stuff. Yeah,
definitely.
But yeah, if you're like a fan of Batman: The Long Halloween, yeah, I mean, Mr. Tyler Patrick, you should be reading this. Yeah, and again,
honestly, I feel like most Spider-Man fans love Daredevil, so it's kind of like a thing.
And again, if you're not familiar with the comics, it gives you some of the early issues.
This is the perfect starting point.
Exactly. Because it's like Loeb gives it his own twist, but he does like he
stays true to the heart and essence of who Daredevil is.
What Stan did, yeah.
Definitely a fanboy in the best way.
Oh yeah, definitely. So yes, definitely an A+. All right.
Too bad. Do we have feedback from Ray or no?
Told you he was just gonna send that feedback for Spider-Cast and it didn't go through. I know. He's busy. Oh, I talked to him last night. He's busy. You know him.
Of course. He's got like 50 million podcasts just like you.
Exactly. All right, everyone. So, yes, no feedback.
What's up? I mean, where do we go from here, Philip? Good grief.
Well, of course, next week will be the 100th episode of Comic Capers, but
we did it, boys! Break out the confetti! We did it!
But in 2 weeks, we're going to keep this. You may ask yourselves, when did Daredevil switch from a yellow costume to a red costume? Well, we will
find out
in 2 weeks. That's right. As he battles the Submariner, Lilith wanted some abs. We're going to give her some
Imperious Rex. Just joking.
That's right.
That would have been a better story. But
Lilith loves half-naked men in her comics. We're going to give her one in a Speedo, kids. Namor. That's right. A classic Stan Lee story. Daredevil number 7 from 1965.
Ooh. Like, honestly, does Universal still have the rights? Like, why don't we have... Namor is perfect. He's a perfect replacement. Although we can't replace RDJ. I'm just saying. Namor. We can't have Iron Man. We can have Namor. Make it happen. And I will be in the MCU so freaking fast.
And hey, show DC how to do an Aquaman. Come on, kids.
Like I said, everything was great about the Aquaman movie except for Jason Momoa. Like, no shade. That is the truth and how I feel about it. It's a very B+ movie. It's fun. It's energetic. The water stuff's not that bad. Although I would have preferred James Cameron to do it like Entourage said he would. But that's a whole other story.
Yeah, the movie's good, except that's what I'm saying. Yeah,
Jason Momoa, man. Jason Momoa.
Show them how to do the character right.
How a real king rules.
That's right. And of course, and then the second episode of February, we'll be covering Daredevil 245, team up with the Black Panther.
Oh no, Black Panther. Okay. I was gonna do the Pink Panther theme song.
So send your thoughts on those. Email us, capesandlunatics@gmail.com, or call the voicemail 614-382-2737. That's 614-38-CAPE. And hey, it's never too late. Ray and the rest of you, send in feedback for Daredevil Yellow. We'll read it next week.
Definitely.
Especially since that's the issue where he switches to red. All right, so follow The Devil You Know on Facebook, Twitter. You can find links to those, to all of our various social media. Oh, hey, Blind Justice, our Daredevil Facebook group. We need members, so please go. Yes, join us, Blind Justice. You'll never believe where I heard Ray dropping, talking about The Devil You Know on his Superman podcast, The Last Sons of
Really?
Mm-hmm. I forget how they started, but he's like, oh yeah, he's like, Phil and Lilith are starting anew.
Oh, nice. Thank you, Ray.
Oh yeah, that's why he sends feedback, we send feedback. It's very
symbiotic, if you will. Hey-o.
We are the collective. Anyway, so yes, find links to our YouTube channel, links to merch, links to Patreon, everything all in one place. That's Linktree, linktr.ee/capesandlunatics. And remember to support our sponsors, Tweaked Audio. Want to hear
Get yourself some headphones, kids. Crystal clear audio like your favorite Devil in Red.
That's right, man. Hear the audio like Matt Murdock hears it. Get yourself some Tweaked Audio. And if you really want to be like Daredevil, go hunt the killer.
Dang straight. But this time it's Michelle Gray that needs your help. But maybe if we petition them, we can get a Daredevil theme box.
Oh, that'd be awesome.
They did Blair Witch. They did another one too. So they're open to it. I know Marvel loves a crossover. Disney loves the merch.
Seriously, you could do a bunch. But yeah, Daredevil would be the one to really go for.
Yep. And if you want to get that hardcover, that sweet hardcover like Phil's got, you can probably go on Amazon and find it. But when you do,
oh yes, go on Amazon. Pick up Pod Life the book, and also you can pick up Daredevil Yellow on Amazon. When you do get all your reading materials, use the link for Southgate Media Group right down there in the show notes. Help us support this show, the network, and that man lurking in the shadows, Rob Master Doom Southgate.
Make it rain. So says Master Doom.
Please kick me in the pants. I get so much right. Why did your eye drift over to my box? Mark my words.
All right, Lilith Hellfire, where can people find you when you're not pummeling thugs?
Well, I'll be pummeling thugs because I will be hate tweeting the return of the CW verse, starting with Batwoman on January 17th. So if you want to join me, find me on Twitter at Lilith Hellfire, and of course on Instagram for the puppies and the smoothies at Lilith Hellfire 86, and for the memes and the hard R content at Lilith Hellfire 69, both on TikTok and Instagram.
I'm 12 when you need me to be 12.
Bye, Karen.
Oh.
Oh.
Pickle. I'm about to get it as well. Get there from all sides.
That's definitely what Karen said.
Oh, jeez.
Not in the face.
Nobody tell Rob.
Oh, yes, that's always and
That was implied.
Nobody tell Rob. Out of the gooch.
A classic has returned. Yes.
Scream it.
Let's get out of here before we get canceled.
I need it bigger.
All right, everyone. Thank you for joining us. Again, come back next time. Classic Stanley Daredevil, Namor.
Imperious Rex. Must find my Namor shirt. Must find it.
Oh, you have one? Ooh.
I made one. Yeah. There's no Namor merch. What's up with that, Marvel?
I was gonna say I didn't think there was.
I'm sure if you look hard enough on Amazon, you'll find some.
Probably. Or maybe even on TeePublic. So while you're on there buying your Capes and Lunatic shirts, like Lilith Hellfire and I are wearing, yes, maybe you can find a Namor shirt.
Come be a twinsy with us.
Ah, we should just send one to Ray just so we can do videos, you, me, and Ray.
I will buy a Moon Knight shirt just for the hell of it.
I have a Moon Knight shirt.
I know. I'm the only one that doesn't, so I'm going to do it.
2 videos.
We'll get him a Batman shirt, too.
Batman. See what happens when you send in feedback, Ray. All right, everyone. How did we end this thing?
Justice is blind, but we're not deaf. Tune in next week.
Justice is swift and merciless like Lilith Hellfire.